Okay, dear devotees, we have around 50 devotees making a lot of noise nearby. So we're happy to be with you, coming to you in Latvia from Uberlandia in Brazil. Oh, is it simultaneous translation?
Yes, Maharaj, yes.
Okay, well, we better select. I'm using a different computer. Interpretation, English. So I'm happy it's simultaneous translation. Very good. Indumati Devirasi, I can see you. And I can see half of Braja Krishna Prabhu, his hand. Yes. Dandvat. All right. And Suresh Krishna also is in a car. Going somewhere or sitting somewhere in the car, I don't know. Looking very still. Traffic light, maybe. But in resigning traffic jams. Hare Krishna. Sevarupa Devirasi, Induleka, Indubala Devirasi. Sorry. Okay, don't worry. I have a little cough, so I may try to speak a little less this time to preserve my speaking. But happy to see you all, and Marie is with us. And Braja Sundari Devirasi, I believe she's even our host. Super to have you looking after us. Udaran Prabhu, Lavanyamoy Devirasi, and Ranga Devirasi in Germany. All right, so first of all, obeisances to you all, and we can start with our mini Vandana. Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tansa Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Om Agyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gora Dvije Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And welcome to Prema Maya Didi Devidasi. She's in Sochi. We're very happy you're keeping in touch and here on the Zoom and being able to hear Russian perfectly translated by Hari Gopal Prabhu. Except he's not translating that part. I know. Hare Krishna, out of his humility. And Juvati Didi, also here with us, happily. All right, dear devotees, you can ask some question, but first of all, we'd like to hear from Latvia. And I think Suresh Krishna is not driving, you're parked somewhere, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're parked. So Suresh Krishna, please give us your news report, devotional news report from Latvia.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat dear devotees. Yes, I am today. I am in Riga, almost in Jurmala, because my older son celebrating his 15-year birthday. So that's why he asked me to bring him here, and I decided to do it. And yesterday we did a workshop, like in our studio. There was like a vegetarian cooking class, and came some people, our friends, Sava, because he appreciate prasadam, as we know, and Alina. So we did beautiful program yesterday. We prepare sabji. I showed them like how to prepare the base of preparations of fundament, how to prepare any sabji, yes. And we offered, and we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then took prasadam, and then speak about Krishna. They asking me some questions. Was very good, nice program. Like not many people, but they sincere asking me about Hare Krishna consciousness. They were sharing with their own experience about some spirituality, some esoteric, like Alina said, some esoteric stuff. And Maharaj, I understand that they are moving slowly toward Krishna consciousness, because Alina told me that she like follow us everywhere, from the beginning, from the start when I arrived to Rezigne. She like following us, like would like to be more familiar with us. So slowly they are moving in that direction. And I understand that this studio give opportunities to such kind of people, sincere seekers, who are slowly coming to Krishna consciousness side. So that is the news, and we will continue. And like I told you before, we will continue to develop this studio, this place. Need to invest more energy, more resources to develop it. And I believe Krishna will supply new people, newcomers. Maybe not immediately, from after some time, but need some development, need some maintaining, need to invest our time, our resources, our energy. This is my understanding for today. So that is a news from Latvia, from my side. Maybe others can share.
And that sounds like a solid understanding. We need to give Krishna the opportunity for sincere seekers to understand where there is the thread, the descending thread of pure Krishna consciousness. In other words, the descending thread of the real purpose of our human life, to go home to Krishna. And the thread means connecting to those who are linked there, who can give us Goloka Vrindavan. And this easy to say, but when we see Brahma Samhita, when we see Srimad Bhagavatam, when we see so many places, we see it is very rare in the world that such an opportunity comes. So with this rarity, we must give opportunity for others to come and to hear about the treasure. So solid reasoning. So I'm happy to hear now some regular program happening in Rezigne, in the center that you've arranged. And from there, building blocks. We never know what is Krishna's wish. We are not the doers. We can distribute 10,000 flyers. We can do so many things. But how many will actually understand, etc.? Really, the result is up to Krishna. So similarly, talking with people, doing kirtan, distributing prasad, and everybody will understand to a different extent. And we have some duty to try to talk appropriately to people. We need to understand the mentality, where they are now, and try to relate to that and show them how, yes, you are searching for happiness. You want to be a millionaire. There is a Bengali person who, long time ago, he said, I'm not interested in Krishna consciousness. I just want to be a millionaire. And this is a friend of mine. We can say it in Bengal. And he became a millionaire, by the way. But that was his determination. I haven't seen him since he became a millionaire. But, we can, if we get the chance again, and I do know where he lives, if we get the chance again, we might just slip in a few words like, so now you are fully satisfied. Now you have conquered the biggest danger, death. Now you've got a positive journey. Oh, now you want to be a billionaire. I mean, it never ends, does it? Billionaires want to be multi-billionaires. Millionaires want to be multi-millionaires. And we saw here in Uberlandia, by the way, like the latest or the future Tesla car, which definitely not a cheap piece of machinery. So we see, and they're driving very happily, showing off their advanced, all straight, straight angled car. It does look like it came from the moon or somewhere, whereas all the other cars look almost the same, just with a different name badge: Toyota, Mercedes, BMW. But they all look basically the same. But the man in his Tesla, then he's very happy, he's showing off his car. But what happiness? It is just temporary ego. But our ego, it's here, and even the wealthy man, as Guru Maharaj points out, the wealthiest person, if he gets some disease which can afflict anybody at any time, he may be the wealthiest person, but he can't eat anything. All the nice sabjis and all these things like this, he can only look at them, not allowed to eat. So we need to try to help others understand individually who we're talking to, and try to reinforce the idea that there is a purpose and there is a direction. There are those who know. Come here and change your life for the better.
Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have a question. Maybe others can share with their spiritual news, but I will ask a question. How we can dedicate the selfishness in our side when we do seva? For example, we are doing seva and we are doing spiritual practice, but how we can dedicate that is some selfishness inside in it.
You got
I have mic.
Mike may help them here, but it doesn't help us here.
Yeah, it's coming. No, speaker.
Vai ter speaker.
Right.
Okay, our engineers are just changing some things. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, okay. So they're just arranging a loudspeaker so we can hear you better too. So I can refer you to Sri Hari Prabhu. He is a family man, wife, child, job, everything. He lives here in Uberlandia, and he lives in the environment where basically, as with everywhere in the world, everyone is a family person. So what is seva, how to do seva in the world and understand it really is seva, let us hear from Sri Hari Prabhu. But you'll have to speak.
Yeah.
We can only hear from him if he speaks. So
If I have a mic.
You have a mic?
Yeah.
Oh, now you have.
No,
Okay.
no. Dandavat pranams. Can you hear me?
Yes, they can.
So first of all, my obeisances to my dear brothers, sisters, and cousins anywhere in the world. It's very heartwarming to have this impression and realization that we have relatives all around, and we might just see each other through Zoom in the past few years, but I believe that anytime that we meet personally, it will feel like we know each other for many, many years, because really this sensation of being a part of the family of Srila Gurudeva and Srila Guru Maharaj is something that cannot compare to anything else. And I don't have any realization really about this question of how to do seva, but if you really want to inspire anyone, I believe the first thing is that you have to be inspired yourself. So this is a very important part of our job as human beings in this world. We have to search for inspiration. And especially in the past few years, since that pandemic stuff and Zoom becoming such a wonderful mass media propagation or anything like that. I had a chance to use my time in a better way. So I sat down and started being in those virtual parikramas by Srila Madhusudan Maharaj and Srila Goswami Maharaj. And that was for me like being reborn in some sort of trying to get some Krishna consciousness really alive with me in my daily basis. So that became something because I started rereading all the books from our gurus, and that brought me back because I was kind of distracted. This is the common thing. We start allowing Maya to get some space, and she gets all the space. If you give a little space, she will take everything for us, Maya. So I think it starts with giving more time to what we really want to do. Maharaj is always emphasizing this, stressing this point that we should do something in the morning and something in the evening. Even if it's a little reading or chanting one or two songs, but remembering constantly what our gurus came here for. They gave us everything, and there are many days in our lives in which you just forget that we got so much. So for me, it was like that. I started getting inspired and trying to connect, trying to serve somehow. And then I got this wonderful chance, which was translating Maharaj's classes to Portuguese every week. And finally getting to know him personally. And that's very inspiring. So if I keep like that and trying to do my best, I think my yoga students, my family, it's only natural that they see that I'm getting happier and more satisfied with the fact that I'm trying my best to serve a purpose somehow. So they come along. We cannot force it. Krishna consciousness is something that is available for everyone, but we are not the ones to force it because we're nothing. But we can do our little part and try to inspire everyone to do a little part too. So that's what we're doing here in Brazil, and especially in Uberlândia, little by little. We're trying to do little drops of sweetness, and it's going on very well. So this visit here by Srila Madhusudan Maharaj and Sripad Mohanananda Prabhu are being wonderful days. We've been to the Seva Ashram in Campos do Jordão with Srila Trivikrama Maharaj, and we had wonderful days there. Now we are here in Uberlândia, wonderful days here. We are going to get some new brothers, sisters, and cousins today and tomorrow because some people asked for initiation. And then we are going to Recife, meet the friends of Gaura Nataraj Prabhu, who is here by our side, who is another guy that inspired a lot of people too by his doing, because he's trying to get this connection and do his job. That's it. This is our job. We are here to try and serve the great souls and try to follow their steps somehow, even clumsily as we do, we are trying. So this is our share. If we do our share, we are inspired. If we are inspired, we can sort of inspire other people. And it's little things, really. Maharaj is always stressing little things. Like I'm going to cook some breakfast. I should try to do it for Krishna, not for me. Or at least, and it's kind of easier. This is the beauty of getting this guru connection, because Krishna is so mysterious. Gurus are mysterious too, but we can remember them. Like I can cook some rice remembering the face of Srila Govinda Maharaj. This is something that my mind, my clumsy mind can do. So I do it. And I'm remembering him and chanting Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. This is a little thing, but it changes everything if you start doing like in a regular basis, day by day and every day. This is a job for us to do every day, connecting and trying to do our part. So thank you. And you are always welcome here in Brazil, everyone. We're always eager to meet our family.
And Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita says, if you offer me with love a fruit, flower, or water, I will accept it. So he has said that. So our duty is whatever we eat, whatever we prepare, we offer to Krishna with love. He promises he accepts it. So don't think that prasadam is the same as the regular food. It really is different. And that means he said that to everybody. It's not that only if you've got second initiation or only if you're this, and this. But it is, he's told to everyone, you offer me with love, fruit, flower, water, and all similar things. So we are prasadam-tarian. And it is a small thing. How long does it take after cooking, as you say, breakfast, after preparing something? It doesn't take any time, tiny bit of time, to offer to the Lord. Put on a plate, offer, bow down, offer with love. Then all of these things, small things, but very important. And Srila Gurudev said, if we understand how to honor prasadam, that by prasadam we can practically conquer the whole of this material world. Oh, I was waiting for a translation. It is happening simultaneously. And in the meantime, more devotees have joined. We're very happy to see Venugita. She's joined us. And she's in Lviv now, it seems. Is it? Oh, no, not Lviv. LV means Latvia. Yes, so Venugita at home in Latvia. And Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, who somewhere in Europe, I think, though devotees turn up in different places, but he's come from Odessa, from Russia, not Russia, from Ukraine. And Annutama Devidasi, also in Ukraine, Sadhvi in Sweden, Krishna, Kamala Sundari, I assume, or maybe in Italy still, maybe doing some France adventure, because they're preaching now in France also. And Subal in Odessa. And Tatiana here in Italy. Oh no, Tatiana in Latvia also. And Swanangi in St. Petersburg. So lots of different places devotees have come to join. And I hope I've mentioned everybody. If I missed anybody out in our list, please excuse with no intention. Maybe Lavanya Moy, she's been here all the while, but just mention you twice in case I missed you out. Oh, Ananda Swarupini, she's here. Ananda Swarupini in England. I don't know if she knows Portuguese. Maybe. No, she knows absolutely fluent Italian and absolutely fluent English.
Dandavat.
Hare.
Nice to be on this Zoom, because I always forget about this one, but I've got the invite from Udaran Prabhu and I'm missing everybody so much. It was such an honor to host the Latvians recently at my house. Not that I hosted all of Latvia, but so I feel like there's a special connection with the Latvia in our family. Just reiterating the honor and the grace and mercy from yourself, Maharaj, and all the devotees for this to take place. So I'm happy to, very honored to be a guest here. Jai.
And Ananda Swarupini is referring to the recent festival in London for the 40th anniversary of the installation of the deities, where the Latvian ladies took refuge in her home in East London. And that was by also the grace of Ananda Swarupini's parents. And this, I understand, was a bit of a turning point for her parents. They were not so favorable before, we hear rumor, but then the devotees, by their good example, softened their hearts. So another example, that we need to be a good example for others, and we should try to do what Gurudev said. If we follow Gurudev's guidance, we will be a good example. Selflessness, sacrifice, chanting the holy names of the Lord, cleanliness, honesty. I mean, so many qualities are there. They are the qualities of the Vaishnavas. And maybe we only have a little bit of quality of each of them, maybe not 100%, but we'll try our best. And in London, when we're walking, we did some parikrama. to where the deities had previously been in London. So from the temple, we walked to Bury Place. And then, anyway, I don't remember the addresses actually right now in my head, but we walked to these places and actually did a parikrama going around them. But whenever we came to the pedestrian traffic light, and the traffic light showing the man, red man, you know, you don't cross. Green man, you do cross. And of course, all the devotees being in London and East London, then if there's no cars coming, they just walk across the road. But I told them, here we are devotees. Everyone can see, we've got tilak, we're wearing cloth. So you need to be a good example, and not people will think, oh, these Hare Krishnas, they just abandon all the rules, do anything and everything. So, I mean, that's a tiny example, but we should be conscious of public opinion also. Set a good example. Be a good citizen. And the best citizens do what? Chant Hare Krishna. Okay. And here is Gauranatha Prabhu. And he was a really good guide, probably the best guide ever for the rainforest. He's been working for, he can say how many years, many years, preserving the rainforest with government organizations, whatever it is. But he knows nature very well. His job is in nature. Krishna has been very kind to him to give a suitable employment in this world where everybody has to do something to live, to have suitable employment and remembering Krishna in all the different aspects of nature. And he was a very good guide and kept us safe in the jungle. I did say to him, and he's a witness, I said, don't abandon us now. we're in the rainforest. And another example, we need a guide. We need a guide even in the physical world. And we've always had guides, actually. If you look at your parents and your different levels of education, somebody's guiding us along the way. So anyway, we are going to ask Gauranatha Prabhu to say a few words for you and ask him to come close. He's very shy to come close. I already asked him to come close. Okay. He's only coming close because I asked him. He's shy. So you can clip this on and then you won't have to worry about it. Gauranatha Prabhu.
Dhanavad dear devotees, and by the mercy of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, we can stay together and very happy in Brazil because he comes with the big mercy and the big enthusiasm and give us discipline to doing the right things. And all the time, all the mercy of this presence I give us to the adjustments for the spiritual life. All the time I understand how wrong I stay and how far I stay to the real spiritual life. And I see the bless in the forest, in the jungle, like Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Jarikanda forest, and Srila Madhusudan Maharaj singing the Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Hey.
You need a few more Krishnas. Krishna, 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 hey. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahima. Rama Raksham, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. It's true. We were singing that, and to the trees and to all the plants and the birds, as well as
the frogs.
And the frogs, oh yes, some magic frogs that are only found in that part of the forest and in this in the world, in this place.
Gauranga frogs. The yellow ones.
They're yellow, they're bright yellow, so Gauranga frogs now. And we did give some lecture to the frogs. We're talking to the frog, but what can we do except give some good wish, really?
Yes, in the my for my best friends, I invite him to stay with Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, and now we stay in the whole family together and very happy here. And is this all the moments with the great soul is a spiritual and transcendental life. And these moments, all the seconds stay in my heart for all my life, and I'm very grateful for the immeasurable mercy of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and the mercy of my good brothers here, all the good examples for everything. And I stay only here to serve and stay in their association. And is that I have no words to talk about my grateful for all these moments and all this mercy.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad.
And I am grateful that Krishna has allowed us to be with such good persons. And really, next door here and next door here, now they're all doing something, but we have around 50 devotees here. And the evening before last, we did a public program which was fully packed out with almost 100 people there, every seat taken and some were standing.
And this is not Vaishnava numbers. This is actual 100.
Prabhu points out these are not Vaishnava numbers. Sometimes Vaishnavas are apt to give extra glorification. But he points out they're actual numbers. They are actual numbers. And it was a beautiful program there and a beautiful program here doing what we do every day, actually, which is a morning program, evening program, and do something Krishna-centered and reminding us of Krishna throughout the day. So we are really with good people. And Ubalandia is a very distant place. If you think Latvia is a long way from the center of the world, which is Navadip Dham, then add on another several thousand miles and a lot of water, several thousand kilometers and a lot of water, the North Atlantic and the South Atlantic, and maybe 13 hours on the airplane, which is also mystical. Something mystical is happening that these airplanes fly so far. And we were looking and just calculating ourselves that previously it probably took, we calculated roughly 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks to get from London, which is where we started, London to Brazil by ship. And then those of you who've been on ships know that it is not always smooth sailing. And so, unless you have sea legs, you might find that your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner don't stay in your stomach very long. Oh dear. And we have got that experience. And the ships in those days, I mean, 100 years ago, they will not be like the cruise ships of today, for sure. What to speak of 200 years ago. I don't know when the Portuguese came, etc. But
about the same time where Srimad Mahaprabhu manifested his pastime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
500 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing that you can come on those kind of boats. But anyway, we have this mystic way of coming by air. But I'm just pointing out that at Ubalandia, and then we are inland by maybe 1,000 kilometers.
Something like that.
Something like that. So then you'd have to go through all the tribes and everything else to come in from the coast to Ubalandia. But yet now the residents of Ubalandia, they've got this whole community completely connected with Navadip by following the guidance of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And another example, it's not the physical location, it is the heart connection, the heart location. So we all must try always to keep our heart where Srila Gurudev has indicated, shown. And this is our lifelong challenge to do like that. Hare Krishna. And in the meantime, Govinda Chandra Prabhu joined us, and Bhagirati Devirasi in UK joined us too. So we're very happy to have your presence here. All right. Do you have a question for our Uberland? Well, you're not from Uberland. He's from the jungle. But our Brazilian devotees. Do you have any question? And you all know our Leela Moy Prabhu here. He is Uberlandian, but he's been serving in Thailand for several months. Then was in Italy just now on his way. Then coming via London and the London Festival. So probably he needs no introduction, but anyway, there's an introduction. And Sri Hari Prabhu, the fact is, he is the gentleman who by his example has drawn so many people in Uberlandia to give honor and respect to Bhakti Yoga, to Gurudev, to Guru Maharaj. So all these devotees can share something with you. So, do ask. And as I point out, when we meet devotees and we sit at a table together somewhere, then always there are so many questions, even if we're only with 2 devotees, so many questions come. And here we are with...
There's a hand.
There's a hand. Oh, Juvati, a hand. A hand. So we are lots of devotees here. Don't be shy. But I will ask one of these 3 to answer your question. So if you wish, you can direct your question to a particular devotee.
Дандават, Эвриван, Дандават, Махарадж. Я буду по-русски говорить. У
I
меня
shall
вопрос,
speak
там
Russian.
есть
I
Прабху,
have a
которого вы
question.
говорили,
There's
что есть
a
семья
Prabhu
с
who
детьми.
says
У меня
he has a
вопрос сегодня
family with kids.
про
Today I have a question
воспитание
about
детей, наверное, немножко.
kids, a little
Поскольку
bit.
у нас есть дочка,
As
которую
we have a daughter,
у меня все время есть вопрос про то, что нужно
she
детей
always has a
каким-то образом
question.
образовывать. И мы,
So, there's a question. We
например,
need to educate
стали
children
участвовать
somehow.
в курсе, который
We started to participate in a course
рассказывает про классическую
which
музыку,
tells
про
about classical music
исторические,
and
скажем,
historical, let's say,
обстоятельства вокруг этой музыки, да? И
historical
получается, что
circumstances in this music.
я считаю, что я вроде должна это
And I
делать,
think
и
I
мы
must do this.
тратим на это время. Точно так же мы
And
можем
we
вроде
spend
бы
time in this.
образовывать,
And at the same time, we could also
показывать
be
фильмы, например,
educating
какие-то
while showing some
ребенку, там, не
movies,
знаю,
for
про
example. I
индийскую
don't
культуру.
know.
Мы смотрели
So
маленького
about Indian
Кришну, мы
culture,
смотрели, может быть,
we
какие-то
watched the
сериалы. Но все
cartoon,
это не совсем
Small
ведическая
Krishna,
культура.
but
И,
it's not
тем
very
более, это
some
не вайшнавизм, да, но
some TV show.
ну,
And this is not
вроде
Indian
как
culture. Maybe this is
это
not
нужно делать с
Vaishnavism.
ребенком. Ну, то есть
But I
ребенку
think
нужно
we
дать
have to
какое-то
do this
образование.
with the
Мне
child. We
интересно,
need to give some education.
не знаю,
And
есть ли вообще
I'm
какая-то такая идея про то,
interested
сколько
if there is an
процентов нужно
idea of
потратить на
how
образование
many
вообще, в принципе, вообще
percentage,
ребенка, и как
how
ему
many,
при
how much
этом
should we educate a
умудриться
child?
дать хотя бы какие-то понятия про вайшнавское
What kind of
образование. Ну, потому
understanding
что
we should
дочка у
give
нас
about
знает про
Vaishnava
Кришну, она
education?
предлагает
You know,
еду, еще что-то,
she
но
knows about
вокруг
Krishna,
нее
she's
живут
offering her
дети,
food,
которые
she knows,
в
but
другой
also kids
культуре,
living around
которые
her,
там
they're in a
смотрят
different
совсем
culture.
другие
They're watching completely different
видео, дразнят ее за то, что она не
videos.
ест мясо и
They are
так далее. То есть,
teasing her for
вот
not eating meat, and
ребенка и
how
оставить в
do I
нашей
keep
среде
them in our
и
association
дать ему
and
образование
give
широкое,
them
чтобы
the
он мог
education,
жить
a
жизнью. Я
wide
не знаю, насколько
education,
это к
so
вам
that they can
образование,
live in the world?
Махарадж,
I do not know if
вопрос,
Maharaj
но
is a
мне и
question
правда
for
очень
you,
интересно, и особенно
but I'm
интересно
interested,
опыт
very
людей, у
interested,
которых есть дети,
the
и как
experience of
они
others who
это, в
have
принципе,
children
все
and how
свою жизнь.
faced this challenge in their lives.
And my comment just now here was, that is a genuine question, not just a question for asking a question, but it's a genuine question. And I think certainly that we've got Sri Hari Prabhu here, and some comments from him would be very helpful for all.
First of all, I'd like to ask you guys a question. Do you have a few hours to spare now? It's a tricky one, but I can remember that way before Isabella, who's my daughter, was born, that sort of thing was what drove me away from the idea of even having kids someday. I didn't want them because I thought this would be too difficult. I once read a commentary by Srila Prabhupada in some of his books, I don't remember which one, in which he was telling in a very simple way that the basic obligation for a father and a mother would be raising his kids Krishna conscious. And that's it. If we do that, if they have some glimpse of Krishna consciousness, you've done some sort of a good job. But your question is actually referring to many things. And today we were reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we were reading about the differences between old ages and Kali Yuga. And we were also talking about, one of these days, we were also talking about this, the sort of life that a sannyasi has to live and the sort of life that a girihastra has to live, and that for a girihastra, which is a family person, there are some more tolerance about little things. I cannot say a lot because Maharaj is here and I'm ashamed of saying anything. But for instance, I'm going to give you an example. I'm a musical guy myself. I grew up playing the guitar, and I used to be a musician before I was a yoga teacher. I worked in studios and things like that. So I like pop music. This is something I'm trying to keep a little off in my life because I'm really more attracted to devotees for a long time now. But for instance, I wanted my daughter to have a good musical taste. And it's very hard here in Uberlandia for my personal taste. So for instance, last January, I took her, she's 12 now, I took her for the first concert in her life. And it was a Sting's concert, which is a pop star. But it's a pop star that is vegetarian, yoga practitioner, sang Hare Krishna in many different CDs, in many different occasions. So he's a kind of a good guy in that sense. So I'm trying always to give her some examples that in modern day life, there are people that are in a little gradation. They are a little more like refined than the whole mess that we see around. I try to give her some examples. So every day I go there and I do some puja and I chant my japa, and she sees it. She sees it happening. She sees me giving classes, and she's learning in her school. She's learning about the Big Bang. So I took a picture from the ISKCON devotees that kind of drawn the creation of universe. It's called Vedic cosmology in that language. So I showed her what they are teaching you is in this line of consciousness. What we have here have so many different lines, and that's only material. Because after that, there are things that are not material. And this is it, this is it, this is it, and this is Krishna, which is way above all of this. So if they're teaching you about creation or anything or manifestation at school, they're teaching you a tiny part of tiny interpretation done by people that have no realization at all. And she gets like, oh, I think I got it. And it was a wonderful surprise for me when yesterday she went with lots of devotees to take a walk by some waterfalls here. They took Maharaj too. And the devotees that have initiation, they were talking a lot of things for the devotees who are devotees to be, who are going to get initiation. So they were talking about the relationship with the devotees, the relationship with the guru, and how to proceed with your devotional life on day-by-day basis, basic things like that. And when she got home at night, I met her because I was working all day, and she told me, can I go to the initiation tomorrow? Then I said to her, well, it's going to take a while because it's a lot of people and you're going to have to sit there and stay there. And she, no. you didn't get me. I want to have my initiation. I want Srila Madhusudan Maharaj to be my Gurudev. And I want to chant Hare Krishna like you guys are doing. So I think it's by example. What I always heard was that, by example. And when I took that decision inside, that, okay, I'm a married man and I should have a kid, because this is the natural thing for a married man to do, have kids. This is some sort of Vedic basic stuff. So when I got to that, I really prayed for Srila Gurudev and for Srila Guru Maharaj that at least, please send me someone who has a little bit of interest in spiritual life, please. Otherwise, I won't be patient enough to deal with it, because that's my limitation. That's my limitation. So we have to understand our own limitations. We have to understand that even though I call her my daughter, she's a jiva soul of her own, as well as I am. We are independent in that sense. She's in my care now because Krishna wants to, but she's an individual. For the grace of Guru Gauranga, Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, Srila Gurudeva, Srila Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and so on, by the grace of them, she asked them to be initiated. So it's a great fortune. And I cannot like disguise my feeling of being a little proud. I know it's not good, it's attachment, but I'm a little proud today. Sometimes it happens. So what you can do is give a good example. You cook for Krishna and your kids will eat food that was offered to Krishna. You chant every day and the kids will hear it. And you be patient, because there might be a time in your life where they're going to go away and do things on their own, because that's their lives and their karma and so on. But if you keep doing your spiritual life on a daily basis, they will have the best example they could ever have, because the mother is the first guru, and we know that. So that's what I have to contribute.
And in the chat box, then there is some English contribution from Marie, and so maybe you could read that in Russian, Hare Gopal Prabhu, so that everyone can share. And these are valid points indeed, coming from Marie.
There is this commentary for Mary is that from a professional religious educator. Oh, so you guys can hear him translate.
Oh, Portuguese. Did I say Portuguese? In Russian. Hare Gopal, don't translate into Portuguese. Please translate to Russian. Oh, we can't. Yeah, we can't hear it because it's in Russian.
Yes.
So when you speak,
He's a family man.
definitely,
Way more experience.
he's next on the
A
list.
question about family.
Family life and Krishna consciousness, how to grow children that are learning so many different
Oh,
things.
yeah. So
Oh.
many of us have had that issue.
Okay, so now we've got Mohanananda who just heard the question, and he's going to come forward instead of being far away. And he's a family man with 2 children, and he's a grandfather too. And so he's got lots of experience, as well as with other family man devotees. And most devotees are family people, by the way.
Dandavats, everybody. The wonderful thing about being a family man is you can actually enjoy.
Oh dear.
We can't talk about enjoy. We can't talk about enjoy with sannyasis present. But Maharaj gets a different kind of enjoyment that unfortunately I cannot get the taste of, but maybe in the next life. But whatever is our position, whether we become fathers or mothers or have children or no children, we have to remember this. Every child out there is just like our own child. We have to treat them with love and affection. And you know what children do, right? They do all kinds of stuff. They bring troubles home. They bring sickness home, sometimes from the play school or from school. And you have to deal with all of that. And even though they are 30 years old, they'll still be a child because they're bound to bring some issues that they have at home, and you have to deal with that. And then I have to think to myself, Gurudev treated all of us like his children and his grandchildren. Whatever issues we had, we used to approach him, even though it's nothing to do with spiritual life. He would listen to us very carefully, and then sometimes he would give advice, and most times he would say, wait and see. I think this policy is a good policy sometimes to have in your everyday life. If you feel currently you don't want to have children, wait and see. If you do want to have children, wait and see. It's just everyday practice. Whatever the situation is that comes to us, good, bad, difficult, we just have to deal with it because everything is a test. When Sri Krishna or Guru tests you in something, for example, if Gurudev gives you a seva to do, which is very rare, if he actually asks you to do something, that's already a joyful thing because most of the time he doesn't want to ask you anything. He waits for you to do whatever you think is right. But if he does give you a service to do, he might say, I think you would be very good at translation or translating or doing this, and he tells you that. That's a joyful thing to get that kind of instruction. And if you make a mistake, remember every mistake you make while your Guruji is alive is a good thing because he can correct it for you. Imagine if he was not here, who would you seek solace from? Who would you seek answers from? Your God brothers, no doubt. But if your Guruji was here and you go to him and say, I think I've made an error in this aspect of my life, and then he would give you some guidance. So it's a good thing. We have to learn that Krishna, Sri Guru, provides us in situations where we are tested. And those tests are good. At the same time, it puts us in situations which we can also enjoy. And that's also a good thing. So on that platform, everything is always good. But yes, sometimes it gets better. But everything is always good. And we must keep that positive mind, whether we have children, no children, if we are raising them, we do the best we can. I have had 2 children. Both are scientists. One's a doctor, one's a vet. They come from School of Science. And we always have to argue. And they'll always argue with me because, first of all, they like an argument. And another thing, nothing better than irritating your father. They get some joy from that. But we tolerate that. And you know, the one thing that will be a joyful thing is when they have some little trouble and they cannot deal with it. They cannot find that answer, even though they come from a science background. And then they will talk to you. And that's when you can share something about scripture with them. And then they'll, when they are pausing and when they are thinking, that's a good sign because you've just entered their wall. You've broken through. And don't be surprised when they suddenly tell you sometimes, oh, you know, I was in this position. I thought I was going to have an accident. I just started chanting, you know, the Lord's name. And I say, transactional, huh? Transactional. So you want something, then you chant the name. Otherwise, you forget. Huh? Like that. Just like your relationship with your father. When you want something, you call your daddy. And when you don't want something, you carry on. You'll have those sort of moments with your children. But they're all joyous and they're all good because at least if your children are talking to you, that's a very, very good thing. Most of the time, they try to ignore you. But you learn all of these things. It's a cycle of life, which fortunately, in some ways, Maharaj doesn't have to go through because his instructions were to follow his line, and he does that, and he does that beautifully. And we need Grihastas in the Sanatana Dharma system. We need Grihastas, we need Brahmacharis, and we need Sannyasis because that gives us the fulsome devotion practice for Sri Guru and Gauranga. You cannot run an ashram, you can't run a temple without sannyasis and brahmacharis, and you cannot run it without the grihastas support. So everyone has a place in the system. Find your place, be happy with it, and continue to be as productive as you can. That's my advice.
Jai.
Jai.
And Premamaya Devidasi, she's made a contribution in the chat box from the other side as a child. So she was, I mean, not a child now, but as a child, she was brought up with mother and father as devotees. And so you can read her contribution in Russian, Hari Gopal Prabhu. Jai. And her father, Jadu Krishna Prabhu, was one of the pillars that's keeping Moscow, Russia, Moscow, going in difficult times, sometimes easier and sometimes more difficult. So she's coming from that genuine, like surrendered parents' background. That by their example, they are showing what is surrender and how to lead a devotional life. Premamaya Devidasi, would you like to speak something? You can speak in Russian. Also, we are getting simultaneous translation, as you know.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat all the devotees. I speak English because it's more easy for me. I don't really have anything to comment. I'm more of a listener. So that's, yeah.
Okay.
I just thought just to make that comment because, again, it's from the other perspective and just to help, I don't know her name, but like share my experience as well.
Yes, and we appreciate that. And
Thank you.
not necessary to say many things. We're happily from your heart have expressed. And the devotees, they are wonderful, whether they're our parents, whether they're our relatives, or whether we don't even know them, but devotees are all wonderful. They've got that wonderful side to them. Jai. And Juvati, sending her appreciation for all the comments about the family life and bringing up children.
So very good comments, Maharaj.
And Marie, more comment. Oh, also, one thing parents can do is to ask for help.
Good, yes.
So again, Hari Gopal Prabhu in Ruski kindly could give. You see the comment in the chat box by Marie. I think it's the last comment.
Very good comment.
You can give in Ruski, please. All right, thank you very much. Spasibo Bolshoi. So this is the Latvia Zoom, and we've got devotees from all over who are here with us. But let us come back to Suresh Krishna Prabhu, and he can give us our final summary of how to be Krishna conscious in any position in life. What do you think, Suresh Krishna Prabhu?
Maharaj, it's this question and all comments remind me one story what I heard from Srila Goswami Maharaj. And this is from the Srila Prabhupada time, and when devotees was a hippie and was like unusual people, and when their parents would like was dreaming, was waiting that these people will be like jurists, like doctors, like others, like familiar, some familiar, I forget this word in English.
Sensible people.
Yes. But become a devotee. And then this devotee was dreaming that their kids will be devotees. but they become doctors, advocates, and so on. So, you know, it's not from us. We can thinking only about us, and we can follow our practice, and as you told, to show them some experience, our like our experience, our example, and they will learn, they will teach this material world, like understanding, for sure, because this they have own karma, they have own some understanding of this life, but we must put in them mostly Krishna consciousness. If we are Krishna conscious, first of all, we must become Krishna conscious for us, we, and then they who they will be, they will be. We just like Mohanananda Prabhu told, we need to support them, we need to give them affection, love, and support. This is the main thing, and they will be fine. I'm for sure. So this is my idea when I was listening. So the main idea to become a Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna.
And even if children or anybody else that we talk to and we want to be well in Krishna consciousness, even if they don't show any interest or symptoms, then we don't know what is hidden inside them. And actually, I know Mohanananda Prabhu, he was referring to his son who always, this is the story he told me, so if it's wrong, clarify.
You're never wrong, Maharaj.
His son always was like, no, not this Hare Krishna, not this Hare Krishna, growing up. And then when he's something grown up, as youngsters do, he went traveling. And then he was in a foreign country, the Middle East or somewhere, he was in a foreign country. And then he was in some danger. And then anyway, he finally came back home and got back home. And Mohan told, you know, my son, he came to me and he said, Father, I need to confess something. And then he said, oh no, what's he been doing while he's been abroad? What kind of confession? And he said, I confess, when I was in that critical position, I chanted Hare Krishna sincerely. So
it's true, very true.
Yeah. So we may think something is not there, but we do our best to give a sensible introduction. And as with everything, we are not the doers. We just try. The result is up to Krishna.
Yeah.
And Pritu Prabhu just joined us. Pritu Prabhu, we're just ending. But 1/11th of a second of association with a pure devotee has great value. And there's some pureness in Pritu Prabhu, sincere soul.
Yes, my Maharaj,
Okay,
I joined your Zoom because of that. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarasiti Hoy. To get your darshan of all the devotees also. Here with others. Here's Robert and Amarnath Prabhu.
Jai.
We're going to distribute books. So be on the way.
Well done.
Well done.
Book distribution, so important because the books have the words of our masters. Our masters' words have some transmission of real purity and intention. We should try to distribute their books to those who have some faith, and we must cultivate our faith by regularly reading those books, not just knowing it is full of richness, but we need to do as Guru Maharaj and Guru Ri taught us, daily reading for some time each of the books, one by one.
Yes, Maharaj. Actually, we're not merely not merely distributing books. Actually, people, they ordering it by internet, and so many devotees, I don't know, from many places. We're selling them through marketplaces, and so many devotees, they just requesting more and more books, and every day 1, 2, 3 books ordered, so we have to bring them.
And
So
if you can deliver the books in person, it is very good. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, he started a program in Calcutta that the businessmen, they will make a contribution every month. That was the plan, that each month you try to have a pledge, a contribution. But you, the brahmacharis, the devotees, you must go and collect that donation. It's not just a bank standing order, but you go to collect that because it is their opportunity to be with a devotee. So the personal aspect, the importance of actual sadhu sangha, and not just automated, that is very valuable. So if you're able to do that when they order books and you're able to deliver to their hand, that is very, no doubt, very pleasing to Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. Jai.
Unfortunately, Maharaj, it is not to the person. We're doing personal delivery also, but this is marketplace. We going to their storage to deliver there.
Courier.
Yeah, kind of courier, because it was ordered not in the right way, so we bring into the central storage. Otherwise, it is nearby to the temple. We bring in books there every day. Different devotees getting much several distribution. We making all package, and different devotees bringing to send. So everyone joining in Sankirtana.
All right. So we are all hearing your words, and there's some little flame inside. Let us all try to fan that flame for also the enthusiasm of book distribution to the faithful.
Yes. Dandavad.
Okay. Dandavad to Prabhu and to all the devotees in the car there, Robert and the devotees. And now back to Suresh Krishna Prabhu. He's parked, he's not moving, he's parked in his car. Suresh Krishna Prabhu, sign us out until next week. Kindly.
Yes. So what can I say? I can say just glorify Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshak Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Achai Bhaktivedanta Swami ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Ganthar Govinda Sundar Ji ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Param, Jai Shri Guru Varga ki Jai, Namacharya Shardas Thakur ki Jai, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Govinda ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai, all assembled devotees ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. A beautiful morning here, a beautiful afternoon with you, I think, and a beautiful whatever the time of day it is with each of you around the world.
Hey Krishna, see you
Jai
next
Shri Gurudev. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj, and of course, special thanks to Hari Gopal Prabhu. We've probably exhausted him, but he's been there translating very efficiently, we know. So well done, and super to see you all. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah.
Stay safe bodily, stay safe spiritually. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Govinda Govinda. Amra Aschi, our only bit of Bengali today. We are coming. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. You can all stay together, but we are going to go. We have devotees on the front and the back and on the side. So we better give a little attention in person here. You can stay together forever. It's not a problem. Hare Krishna.